Good now. Trace versus Nova. Trace, they were 1 win away from making Madrid, lost to Edward Gaming. Nova, quite a far way away. Rematch as well from kickoff, where Trace absolutely annihilated Nova. They made a roster move. Guan has gone from the Duelist to the Sentinel, and they brought in Swirl in place of Panghang. So, good move. 2 RNG players, nice to see them. And also Trace, Loking. Traded out 1-for-1 for flexing. Could be the piece that this team needs, because I've got them going for Shanghai, baby. I think them not making top 3 is a huge loss. And I think it's all just based on mental. So if they start having Nova like come back in a series like this, make it scary and Trace flounder, not a great sign. Also, it's all about getting the points now in the regular season too. Kickoff means nothing. And everything was just set up. Kai just annihilating people, Snakebite Nana Swarm combo. Obviously, the big risk and problem when you're running like no flashes. Who do you think is good to Shanghai? EDG, FPX, Trace? I'd say that they're the likely 3. Do I think that it's going to be that straightforward? Probably not. But I don't know who we miss. Like, there is a genuine chance that we could miss EDG. If Engling. I think legit the only thing that would stop me from cheering for like Wolves to make Shanghai is their strength of schedule is crazy. They have Tech that they lost to, kind of narrowly, and then they have FPX today. Like, 2 games in the first week is already kind of shit when you're a new team. When it's those 2 teams that are going to be fighting for a playoff spot against you, where head-to-heads matter, yeah, good luck. Maybe JDG can make it. I didn't catch the VOD yesterday. Why is that not? I didn't catch the VOD yesterday because I was casting. I wanted to watch the VOD on stream. Yeah, the world schedule is definitely ref. I agree with TMV on that one. What about RB's team? Yeah, that for me is one of the teams that would like push for playoffs. But there's so many teams that have like a huge plethora of stuff to build off of. And I hope the Trace is one of them. It was a good pistol, like good setup. Calm, collected. Keep reminding me to hyper-focus on Loking though. Because, you know, even in the stuff that we've had translated, like press conferences and stuff for Trace and why they picked up Loking, the answers are very... like political. They're very safe. Just, oh, he just adds more flexibility. Another Lotus map. Yeah, but I'm still curious on this one because it's like these are 2 teams that like Trace. I want to see really how good they are. Nova, they made good roster changes that I like. Like, let's see how they play Lotus. I'd be more upset if I saw Nova playing what they did before, where they had no Viper, double initiator with a breach, and it just looked ass. Like if they came in with that, I'd be like, oh. But now that Nova are actually doing very like meta set things, if China actually gets their fucking heads together and they could like see and understand what the meta is, there's a good chance. Nice cleanup, don't lose anybody. Good retake. I've just watched Bleed versus Talon on Lotus. Yeah, but that is going to be a bit of like shit housery, right?
我们通常在说这种局面上，可能对于进攻方来讲，安装爆能器就算赢，毕竟有了1500的团队经济。但是 TE 这边比较舒服的，
Lexin wanted to move to Talon, Trace can save money.
都相对来说比较少。下一回合不用买甲了，最低一个。
I feel like money. Well, I don't think money's much of an issue for any China org, even if they're like crazy in debt. Nova can win Clown Face. I don't know if they can win. That's not necessarily what I said, Rag, but I just want Nova to like look better. Same with like Tyler, right? They picked up a really good map, but lost to Billy Billy. But it's like, okay, every team is improving so quickly, it's crazy. I don't want Nova to be left behind when you've got Tyler looking better, but still the worst team. All gamers picking up a series against DRG, right? The full buys here. Good bonus. Well, not really a bonus when you have this in. The bonus off. Has Billy played? Yeah, they played in the first series. They won 2-1 against Tyloo. But they got destroyed in the first map of Bind. It was like 13-5. You can catch all of the VODs and stuff on Sliggy's like VOD YouTube channel. But not that game because I didn't record them, because Sliggy has his POV for that game. A little bit odd, I suppose, to have the Fade being the one to like jump check this when everybody else is going to see. This is going to feel like the same again, isn't it? I mean, they dealt with it well here, Nova. They know that if they make any sound, that's going to like activate all this utility. So full contact walking out is the better play. Still though, even if we see Nova win out this round with all 3 of these players alive, this is like decent damage for Trace. If they could get like one more and save the operator, I think Trace are going to be like, whatever, we're happy. Blackson also said he wanted to play Vice King again. I guess I'm just thinking of like, is Low King like a prodigal talent? You know? You know how like people are talking about Tomasi before he signed for KC? Like whoever, or Martin I think is the better example. You got people like Vanity saying, if whoever signs Martin is going to win champions. I wonder if that's sort of the same with Low King. I wonder if people are saying like, whatever team Low King's on is going to like do really well. It's just that kind of like discourse that I guess we miss because we're not Mandarin speakers. But like the problem I have with like learning Mandarin is like it's such a crazy big task, but also I feel for interviews and for the casting analyst desk, for what I've had like translated, it's very like general. Like the questions are, you know, how are you feeling today? Feeling very good, thank you. I feel we are ready and we're willing to do our best. You have the press conference stuff where it's like, we got this player because they're much more flexible. But it needs like 2000 class to be fluent. Yeah, I think I don't need to be fluent. I don't even think like Sue was saying that she wasn't necessarily that fluent. But I think that she's just been humble. Interviews feel like football player interviews today. Yeah, that's a really good like comparison. You know, at the end of the day, it's a game of 2 halves. That kind of shit, right? I mean, the only person that you're going to get spicier answers out as somebody like Kung Kung. But it almost feels like he's just been an anime character with like how he says stuff. If we don't win China, nobody wins China. Shit like that. The Horn's not got anything, so this position late for Guan is a nice one. Good trade though from Kai. 2 versus 3. Both the players are stacked up, so this smoke is everything. He's TP'd out just as Heibei is gone here. This is a really nice recliff from Trace. Snake bite to stop the spam. Olingo can only push out so much more. Yeah, this is Lotus. This is Ascent. And this is Sunset. I don't know if Lexi's around today. Is there a Guan clip? Yeah, not yet. So far, it's been fairly tame from Trace, but we're only 4 rounds into it. And as like, I know that I'm feeling like back to normal, because the first map is just me talking about various topics and not watching the game. All small maps, yeah, all A maps too. I think it was a major mistake for Ryan to have Icebox and Breeze in the map pool. I think either the map pool needs to be changed more frequently or less frequently, and I can't decide between the two. One thing I don't like is that at the start of the season, your map feed, like the map pool that we have now, will be different for champions. It just will be. And I don't like that you could have like the main part of a year. Like let's say we have the same map pool until like after Shanghai, and then we have a new map pool that's for like stage 2/champs. That's gonna feel really weird. If you changed up one map, maybe that's fine. But if they're adding in more maps, then you end up changing more maps out. They did change map pool mid-season last year, yeah, and it just felt like odd. But honestly, I don't think you can keep this map pool the same. I think in the future, if we do have it so we have like Stage 1, Masters 1, Stage 2, Masters 2, and like a Stage 3 champs, I'd be happy to see map pool 1, map pool 2, map pool 3. Because each of these are going to be like a couple of months. It's almost like you change it every act, but that might be a bit too often for ranked and stuff. The gold map should be in ranked queue. I don't like that. I do feel like the map pool needs to be the same for competitive and pro play. There's nothing worse than watching a map in pro play that isn't in the game at all. Like when I'm watching qualifiers for game changes where teams have to play like Haven and stuff when Haven was taken out, or Ascension, it's a bit like... The problem with a Premier system is just you might have teams try to one-trick their way onto maps. But I think the way that Premier works in CS now is a lot better for that. Alright, so Viper's pit's gone down, 3 versus 2. You have a lockdown, and it's used behind them too. So it's going to push these players out. They're trying to wallbang it, and Kai's just going to go for this player. Good fight to win against Olingo, who's just straight up panicking. These players have to back out. Good position for Swell to be in. The plant is really good for them too, for like backside. So this is like a good read from Nova that, okay, we're going to plant it right out in the open. Just in case of where they lock down, we still have access to the spike. If we have to play up here, if we have to play down here, if we have to play back here, we can still see the spike. The only issue is if we go off here, but we're not going to do that because of the Viper's pit. Alright, seeing some fight back from Nova. Some of these attacking rounds have been good. That definitely felt a little bit more like an improvisation. Like Olingo being stuck here and the other two pushing this. Swell is a new signing. He was a free agent, but he was on Royal Never Give Up. So we haven't seen him play since Evo Stage 3. Royal Never Give Up should have played in Ascension, but they just dropped their roster. They didn't make partnerships, so they're like, alright, we're out. Which I don't like. Sounded pretty complicated, and I mean, I think RNG have a reputation and a history of being kind of a crappy organization. From what I've heard, like allegedly, I don't know much. RNG have been known to have sus finances. Yeah, that's kind of what, like, it's effectively, people have compared them to like EG, what they did like last year. Like manager putting on Weibo that they like waiting for payments for RNG despite working there for however long. Step by's good onto Obi. Is there actually going to be any follow-up on it? No. Olingo holding. Nice kill. These are really good like post point positions as well. Like Guan like playing here when they go A, having CB watch across. Loking is very aware of it, and so like at this point, 3 versus 5, saving's good here for Trace. I said Feng Feng, saving here is good for Trace. Like, getting the kills and doing the damage here just isn't that valuable. Like, what, are you going to build up to a From the Shadows, which you already have? I mean, they kill everybody, but maybe that's Nova not approaching it very well, and Nova being like, we have the money, we don't care. But if I'm Trace, if I'm Destroy, I'm calling the timeout. Is Nova a middle pack team now? It's hard to know because all gamers won a series, so they look good. Tyloo took a map off of Billy and like looked decent across the rest of the series. So I don't think Nova's a middle of the pack team now. I still think that they're sort of like the bottom quarter, but the bottom quarter look much more improved than they have done previously. Which, yeah, is like amazing.
对于 Nova 来说，其实我能看到他们的进步，包括是小洞，我觉得
Yeah, the teams have got so much better. It's really nice to see, and it's exactly what I wanted. Essentially, that's what I wanted to see from like these teams as well. Like, if it wasn't EDG that wasn't going to improve on some of their general basics, I wanted it to be like other teams sort of take that opportunity themselves.
但现在目前两边都没有什么太好的终极技能，并且这一分 TE 本来就是一个经济的劣势局面，他们还作为防守方偏向于被动，要不要考虑把这个被动化为主动，主动出击？
就像之前有一把团结分一样。
Yeah, DIG looked a little bit stale yesterday. I agree. But I'm not necessarily being that high on them. I'm not being like they're the worst team in the region or they're like at the bottom. I'm just like, they're not gonna make playoffs. Alright, so timeout for Trace on a bit of an awkward buy here. They could have had a full buy if they'd saved like one more of the guns. Guan gets 2, has a lockdown. Lurked up very quickly into this spot. I think this is a little bit greedy. It's not that you've given him a gun either, because Low King Kai, they were the ones that saved guns last time. So this is like doable if it wasn't for Low King peeking alone there. Very impressive from Nova so far. Like Trace looking a little bit out of sorts. Then again, attacking on Lotus is the easier, more straightforward side, especially when you have like a fresh new team. Or at least like roster moves. Like this, even if it doesn't go well, you have time to like warm up and get used to the official. On defense, you're having to think a lot and change up a lot. So I think the Trace, even 3 rounds might be enough if they can get their attacking side going. But 5 rounds for Nova, despite losing the pistol, out of what, 9 rounds is good. Shanghai will only help the Chinese teams. International teams coming all over the world will be scrimming all the China teams, and I bet they'll help them tremendously. But the EDG could be easily dethroned this act. Yeah, I think that's... I'd say that's quite likely. The only thing that makes me feel like I can't double down on it is just... There's too many teams that just panic against EDG in bigger series. Like, EDG could lose in groups. They almost lost yesterday. But if it's like JDG versus EDG for a qualifying game at Shanghai, I know who I've got like my money on, right? Like, one team really rises to the occasion, the other one starts panicking because it's EDG. Fnatic were really good for that last year too. Like, some teams played against Fnatic so differently because it was Fnatic. Who just well placed Panghang? Who I think, yeah, should have probably have gone. This Panghang was like playing Raze and then Killjoy on some maps, and it's just like, I hate it. Is championship points only for champs? Yeah. For Shanghai, it's like qualifying for playoffs, making top 3 each region. No real ultimates to work with yet. YOU is going for this. Somehow manages to get both of them. Fengfeng stayed, got hit by the state bite, so got taken out. There's a Nightfall, 35 seconds. Lockdown for Guan, Obi-Wan, neither of which are on site. There's one snake bite for Heibei as well, so the fact that time's been cut here, they think that they're cutting noise to maybe bait that they've rotated away, but you've got an alarm bot here, you've got the Omen flanking all the way around, they know exactly where these attackers are. Nova think they're maybe being a little bit coy and a bit careful, but it's not really that vague. Nightfall doesn't hit Guan, but the Paranoia does. Really nice utility from Trace. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, though, where you've got just YOU and Feng just pushing up and holding this line. Nice shots, though, from YOU. It's just a little bit... It could have gone very easily wrong.
他们是喜欢前期后能量球之后，在50秒左右的时候转点 ，T 就是在50秒的时候让 Loki 慢慢的往前压，排空了 C 区，也确定了你打 A 点，给到了峰峰跟 YOU 接人的机会。
Champs is not guaranteed for each region, so it's the top 4 teams from each region that go. 16 teams, 4 from each region. There's no whoever wins Shanghai gets another spot for their league. So if, like, let's say Sentinels win Shanghai, it's not like we get another Americas team, which I'm really happy for. Because it's not really a reward, is it, for the team that wins the event? It's more a reward for the average teams in that league.
时间提前了，不过这一回合 C 点是直接往后退，然后再来 A 点。
I think it also just makes LCQ just a worse event as well, when it's top 2 teams qualifying. The Wolves are going to champs. Very strong chance if they can get everything going. I think a win against FPX is like doable for sure. We could get 20 teams for champs. I'd hope so, yeah. And then like the top teams from each of the regions get like a bye. 60 team Swiss stage. Top 4, well, top team from Americas, China, Pacific, EMEA all get a pass through past the Swiss stage. Just to be used on either side, both of them not being able to be fighted out at all. Good retake, good fight. Don't know why we went off the players there, observers. Kind of like a CS major a bit with Legends, and also Worlds. I think Worlds has a lot of like play-ins, playoffs, play-outs, playoffs. Play in, play out, play off, play on.
也知道峰峰可能会快回，所以假下了一个爆能器，但是在最终的收益上面，还是峰峰这边带领团队返场成功。
因为这一分本来就其实对于目前 Nova 来讲的话，他们打的算是比较顺利的，因为听到对方离魂的声音了，就知道你整个 C 点可能是放空的。
对，而且小开的这一个 GS Well 也是非常关键。
Almost respect that Trace just weren't playing retake, they were just going to try and waterfall in as the spike was planted. Everything worked out nicely. And a good comeback actually from Trace too. Like what, 5-3 up? 5-2? Equal on score now. What's the difference between a play-in and a playoff? Good question. I don't know the specific answer, but I think it's generally along the lines of like your play-in goes into playoffs. Feels like a play-in is basically something that goes into playoffs that isn't a group stage or a Swiss stage. Like it's a particular format. Like play-ins is just like a round robin of all of the teams in that space to play up against each other. That'd be my guess, but I don't know if that's accurate or not.
就可以转到 A 点里面。但是现在对方这个单向烟让他没有办法轻易的越过去，你必须把暗野和暗兽交在了前点位，这是他们不想接受的。是的，
但我们可以看一下这一分小开距离自己的终极技能就差一个能量球。 可以依靠全面封锁去打回防，但是看他怎么样去获取这个能量球了。AY 刚开局又是要来做抢拼 ，Nova 第一时间对于 A 区。
4 people here already from Trace to fight this. Just knowing like fighting for A main how important it is. I think this is like could be a potential good map for Nova in the future though, because if it's just aim duels and just fighting together like this, like really good trades, really good fights from Olingo. I think that's the one thing that Nova has over some of the other like mid to bottom teams in the region. Everybody's aim is crazy, but Nova's aim in particular is like some of the best. Yeah, play. That's a good way of putting it too. How is this a 1 versus 1? Because both teams fought for A main aggressively. Does this Olingo have to move too much? Where's he planted for? We can't see because they've gone for this head-to-head. I think it's like for here. So if he goes drop, I think like it should be expected that he would be here. Yeah, it's planted out in the open. You'd be like, can I get half? Oh no, he didn't get half. But he still has time. Almost kill him too, 16 HP. Very close. Yeah, I think one of the things that observing in China is just too chaotic. But these like 2 kills from Olingo were massive. And that was Trace getting information off their horn and Nova's not hitting anything.
帮助 T 再拿1分，连追3分了。上半场直接把比分反超，来到了最后一个回合。
This hasn't really been pushed at all, I don't think, from Nova either. So this alarm bot just has got so much value. Nanoswarm done that much damage. He got an assist for Hebe. Very clean. Velda, like, this was the only thing that was working for Nova, really. A lot of the C executes got shut down, a lot of the... Well, didn't see many B executes over than that round. Overwatch observing. Yeah, I mean, that's where I got my casting legs. Doing Chinese Overwatch. But yeah, Chinese Valorant is observing is just too fast.
对于 Nova 来说，其实上半场前期的运营是非常不错的，但是后半程 T 的连续
Because there's a lot of like I come from Overwatch where the pace of the game is incredibly fast, very little breaks. These is I hope we see these at like Shanghai. I hope other like international events take this kind of idea. Because there's so many good sprays in game. 最佳模仿奖，还有现场比较害羞的观众。 It's already halftime. It's a very quick map.
下半场首伤局了，而且我们要知道下半场本来就已经是作为 Nova 他们目前可能胜率比较偏低的一方啊，因为他们
To be fair, it's been 35 minutes since we started, I think, so it's felt quite long. I think maybe this map started late.
这边黑贝。 作为 T 的指挥，我觉得后面几分战术上的阅读是非常重要的。一个就是让 Lokin 去死守了一个土坡的位置，没有让 Nova 完成他们第一步的计划。剩下的就是，其实他的2次毒点都有所收获，就是在存前分的时候守住了 AB 连接。
是的。下半场的首枪局决定了最终的一个走向。T 作为进攻方，他们对于这张地图的控制权其实跟
Nova
会很相似，不过唯一不同的就是他们在
Loking so far so good. Same with like Swell really. Both are doing fine. This is a bit sad. This is a bit sad. This feels a bit expected. Like Olingo and Swell, like these 3 are just as aimers. I'm excited for.
了一下小光的这个少阶炮台的位置是非常深啊，放在了瀑布的尽头。
Yeah, if Nova are smart, they'll fight for this as much as they possibly can. If Trace is smart, they're gonna go elsewhere. Literally, the play here is to just like a crossfire for Nova. There's Kai going first too. Like Feng didn't go with them. I guess they just wanted to show some pressure from the Killjoy.
A 大前顶就是想要来抓你，而且
And then a Viper wall to go for like a retake across here.
这个赵宇明来确定你人到哪边，已经到了瀑布这边。
I mean, that's a good setup. If you have people from Nova fighting this each time, like just basically nullifying the use for this wall, like this C wall for a retake could actually like have a lot. But I do like the trace of like, okay, this wall's gonna try and like screw us. They're actually gonna go for the door as well to try and crunch. So we're just gonna take backside. I like the wall, but I don't like this as much. Not with 3 players who have died here, whatever it was. Not on it, so they can just play the time a bit more. Low King is 15 HP, so he's got enough time. Good adjustment. I like the idea from Nova. I just don't think that they play around that utility that way. Why are teams from China having their own bundle? Because they're not ready yet. We found out our like China partnership team / Ascension teams later than others, so we're just a bit behind. Stuff was data mined for them in the like next TTB patch, but I don't know if that means we're gonna get them like next week. I think what's more likely is that we get them in a couple of weeks.
现在长枪局的一个情况之下，我们可以看一下 T 他所有的枪械都是为了在对方长枪局也去拿。
That's Trace picking up both pistols too.
人都起到了枪械啊，只有一把汉林作为是队内为数不多的小冲锋枪。
Yeah, but the rumor is based on the fact that it's data mined in the patch. But there's been plenty of stuff that's been data mined in a patch and not come out till a little while later, especially for skins. Very clean. What have they actually bought up here? Just the one rifle? For Heibei? Obviously they've got like bulldogs and stuff and specters, so it's a pretty like beefy second round buy after winning pistol. But the fact that they've got a beefier bonus and they've lost nobody thus far and probably not likely to lose anybody. Yeah, so Feng is given permission to go find him because he's run away from a showstopper. Gets a kill, survives. Have the showstopper now too. So an amazing bonus for Trace to be working with.
去跟对方磕一磕碰一碰了。
是的，而且这最后一个惊喜翻腾其实是一个缩影，看着风
可以
打一个，但是人的位置他已经了然于心。只要
Yeah, CB's been tragic, but what else is new?
这是他们纪律性的。
It's so mean, but it's.
那现在直接在
I think that old team of like Nova absolutely shouldn't have.
配上一把害灵
Like people like Pang Hang, CB stuff, just.
要往 B 区去冲吗？因为这样的话确实飞行轨迹对于风风
Always a chance that they can like improve and stuff, but like seeing him at tier 1 was not really that great. Blade versus Talon is a match. Oh, I'm sure. One bottom fragging. Yeah, it's feels like you just sort of take a lot of his impact away when he's like not on duel list.
占据了 C 土波之后，通过这个旋转的石门可以看到 B 点的视线。 现在 C 点让 OB1 一个人通过单向烟来守，跟上半
But also you are playing up against Trace.
有点相似的局面，剩下的大部队转移到了 AB 2个点。Nova 如愿的拿到了率先击败。You've
already lost one. You lost Feng as well at the showstopper. Big still just at a specter though, so like money wise it's fine for Trace. Rounds wise it's fine as well because you still have the lead.
而 C 点在等这个单向烟散啊，然后可以先做动静。第二时间。
Don't think winning the bonus was that necessary. It would just be nice. Is he really just not, like, he's jump peeking out and he just didn't see people here? I actually can't believe we've seen something like that, really. Baited himself, yeah. Effectively one-wayed himself. I mean, hopefully they know not to do it for next time. Nova's still might win this, but this is Trace's bonus, remember. Both players are low. The time is not good. Loking's actually done so much here, just getting onto the side. Not expected, bonus 1, even without, in a 4 versus 5, and without the showstopper. Kind of have to look at, like, Obi-Wan, like, jump peeking and stuff was funny, but kind of felt like it cost Nova the round. We expecting Nova to do this much this year? Not really. I think it's more with the roster move against Trace. How much can they do? Already seen, like, all gamers beat DRG, right? So anything can happen.
10比5 ，T 已经把比分带到了2位数，而且下半场的一个
Horn close to see if anybody's like pushed up to here.
这一回合又没有太多钱了。
Or like TP'd across.
还是面临到目前防守方没有得分的一个问题啊。
就是你在防守方，就是为什么说 Nova 他们其实在之前的比赛防守方的胜率，一直比较偏低，就是这个原因。他没有办法去合理的。
Think at this rate, if you trace, you got this Viper wall back on A. It was just a pistol that they did this one, and you also have the Killjoy stuff here too. So I think if you spot this alarm bot, you're like, you have Viper and Killjoy stuff here, and so it's just Omen on C. But now that you know that the Killjoy is going to be over here to an extent, I think going B against the Eco is asking for it. Hey babe, might. He goes down, but not in the way that I expected him to. Just average China things. Oh, Jinobi, is he just no-scope Marshall killing these guys? He has a Phantom now. They know exactly where YOU is. Olingo's still not got half. Oh, unlucky. Nice try, 25 HP. Good eco.
成功帮助 T 拿下这关键的1分。
上半场的小开，下半场的 YOU 这两个1打1，
think that was
可以拉开比分的关键啊。
risky for Trace to even consider planting here when you're up against like lower weapons. Yeah, that's just what the Marshal does. How's Trace looking? Rocky, but it is Lotus. Their attack side has been dominant. They 1.5. So a bit sloppy to begin with, but they've like corrected themselves. But I feel like at the moment now it's more Nova just starting to make more and more individual mistakes. But yeah, quiet from Guan, which is sad.
一直在获取对方有没有 C 点近点的信息。不过这个时候我们可以看到 T 他要第2时间开门，要抓台面吗？暗哨已经是在追击对方 Obi-Wan 的站位啊，但是峰峰这个位置没有选择第一时间先露出去，他还是要等。
You have somebody watching across on B. Doors being opened. Obi-Wan is so scared he's giving up all of the space. Just playing retake here. What have you got for retake? Showstopper and From the Shadows. But they've been pulled on a C rotation just off the door opening and nothing else. There was no smoke, no steps. No utility that was cleared because all of the Killjoy utilities on A. The Prowler in it as well. I'm so nervous because of just like this late lurk. But I guess it's also nice that like Nova have like dedicated a lot to try and get Obi-Wan back into a better position. But they're going B again, like last minute. Viper's Pit's good. That peak isn't. Like, you have player advantage. There's no need for that. Especially when you got a Viper's Pit, just hold.
You're
not really going to find much else, are you? You have to find a needle in a haystack, which is the Viper, and she's in a great position. And Kai gets the... Yeah, so 12-5. Surprised to see China teams win their picked maps. Wasn't that how it's been so far? I think that's it's been less like winning your opponent's map pick. Yesterday JDG was EDG JDG. It was both winning each other's map picks. Was DRG all gamers the same? I know Wolves, Tech, Billy, Tyler was winning their map picks. So day one was a normal and everything else has been, yeah, opposites. So I'd say that's a good sign for teams, like the teams that played yesterday. Good sign for them that they can win on other maps that aren't the ones that they choose. Yeah, I think this is done as well. Guan being 5 and 15 is sad, and it's going to be 5 and 16 to finish on 2.
他没什么太好的一个输出空间，并且面临到他的是1打4，得看对方会不会给机会来跟他进行1v1的对枪。但是刚拉出来3人
Yeah, good map from Trace in the end. Took a couple of rounds to get heated up, but after a timeout from Destroyer, it was business as usual. You want to have a look at a fun interaction I had with Sideshow today? Yeah, let me stop recording this VOD for Sliggy stream and then I'll have a look.